All right, Congressman, we got him here for you.
Eliseo, how you doing, my friend?
I'm doing good. How about you?
I bet you've worn out a good pair of sneakers.
Yeah, I went through, I think, about like two pairs.
That is quite a journey. I don't think I've ever heard of anybody walking that far, but I can't think of a greater cause uh, to raise awareness to than the retirement security for our teachers and firefighters and public servants. So, man, thank you for what you've done. It takes tremendous courage and conviction. And I tell you, a lot of maturity for somebody your age to say they want to make a statement, they want to raise uh, awareness, and they want to make a difference so that our seniors can have a peace of mind when they retire and get the retirement benefits that they are owed and that they earned from what they put into Social Security. So this is a sweet spot for me because we've been working on a fix to the windfall elimination provision. And I've also passed, as budget chairman, a bipartisan commission. We call it a fiscal commission to look at, among other things, the solvency challenge of Social Security within the next 10 years. That's something, Eliseo, that's going to happen between both Republicans and Democrats. Neither party will do it unilaterally. We'll have to work together in a bipartisan way. That's how it should be anyway, and it makes it more sustainable. But thank you for your tremendous passion and for your love for your family and your love for your fellow Americans and seniors all across the country that are counting on Social Security being fixed.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It feels good to finally be here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. I hope we had a good, tall, cold glass of water waiting for you when you came into the office.
Yeah, there's some pretty good water bottles.
How long did it take you altogether? When did you start? And then, of course, at what time did you get there today?
Well, I took off from the city hall in Lubbock at 8 a.m. on July 12th. And then I finally got here today. I think it's August 21st. And I got here at 11:30 a.m. And I had a question about HR 82.
What's that?
I just had a question about HR 82.
Sure, fire away.
What do you think about it? And like, what's your position on it?
I don't think it's the right fix. I think it's an attempt to fix it, and I applaud the people who've worked on it. But I don't think it's the right fix. I think it basically, there are people that got shortchanged from the windfall elimination provision, like 2 million seniors across the country since 1983. But then there were some people that were overpaid because when, for example, a firefighter or police officer or teacher worked a second job, but only for a few months out of the year, it made them look like they were on the lowest end of income earners. So they were getting the highest means test and the highest benefit. So some people were actually overpaid. And I have an obligation to do two things: to make sure that seniors who paid into the system get what they deserved and what they earned. But I also have to protect taxpayers and future seniors and future Social Security beneficiaries from unduly accelerating the insolvency of Social Security by paying people more than they should get. I just think HR 82 isn't fine-tuned to make that distinction. So I think it spends unnecessarily tax dollars where our legislation fixes it, and it also protects the solvency into the future, and it's a steward of tax dollars, so we're not overspending or overpaying.
Thank you. I was wondering about that for the longest because I couldn't find nothing. I couldn't find your position online. But
Oh, well,
I can see where you're coming from, and it does make a lot of sense.
well, and my folks will try to help you. We'll give you all the information you need about the legislation we filed. And just so you know, it initially was filed. The committee of jurisdiction for this is the Ways and Means Committee, on which I serve. HR 82 is coming from members from other committees that aren't committees of jurisdiction, which is fine. Everybody should be able to file legislation, or anybody should, on any issue that they have a passion about. It's just that the bill I filed was initially a bipartisan endeavor from members on the Ways and Means Committee, which is the committee it's going to have to pass out of first before it goes to the floor for the entire United States House to vote on and then go to the Senate. So it makes more sense also to push the legislation that's going to go through the committee of jurisdiction. But again, I applaud the effort of my colleagues who are just trying to solve it. They just I don't think they have fine-tuned it so that they meet all of those objectives, including good stewardship of tax dollars and looking out ahead, making sure we're not draining the system by overpaying people. There's not a lot of people that get overpaid relative to the people getting underpaid, but we don't need to just overpay people, because we've got to make sure Social Security is not just there for your grandmother and for my parents and for me. We got to make sure it's there for you and for your children. And that's the balance that we're trying to strike. But we've had Retired Teachers Association and retired firefighters and police officers support and endorse our bill. So they're supportive, they understand it, and we got to get it done. It's been way too long where it's just been hanging out there with this inequity, where 2 million people are not getting what they deserve. So when do you graduate?
I graduate this year. I'm actually a week behind because school started on Wednesday last week. And
Well, I bet your
oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
I just have a lot of AP classes, but what were you saying?
Well, I bet your teachers and your principal and your fellow students are really proud of you. And so if you need you know how you get a note from the doctor when you're sick?
Yeah.
If you need me to write a note to help you with your the school you've missed, I'll tell them that the education you've gotten by just walking across this country, talking to people, I'm sure, of all walks of life, from various states between here and your nation's capital, and the fact that you've studied and researched and learned this inequity in a major public policy and a significant entitlement program, I think you ought to get a little grace from your teachers, because it's very impressive.
Yeah, and that's the main thing I was worried about, is just my my school back home. Is just, I don't want to fail nothing, because I think I got like 6 AP classes, and then track, and then college.
So are you planning on going to Texas Tech or to college somewhere?
Well, I want to go to Texas Tech, but like, I mean, it's like down the street from where I live. Like, I can walk there in like 5 minutes. So I want to get away. I don't want to get away from home, but like, I want to explore the world. So I was thinking something kind of East Coast.
There you go.
Well, I want to stay in Texas though, also, because I mean, I love my state.
Yeah, me too. I'm glad you do. And I understand. I grew up in Plainview, and it did feel like, there was so much of the world to see. But I will also tell you, the Texas Tech campus is so large and so diverse, and there are people from every state in the country, and lots of other countries around the world are represented on the campus. You can almost get lost in the campus as its own city, really separate and apart from Lubbock. So you can do as much, engagement with your family and friends from when growing up in high school, and you can just immerse yourself in the Texas Tech campus. It's really crazy. you really don't have, you feel like you're not in Lubbock if you want to. And then when it's time to wash clothes and get a good meal, you want to go home. It's not like
Yeah.
flying from California, you know?
Yeah, and along this trip, I realized how much I love my state and love my city of Lubbock. Because I mean, I was traveling like 50 miles a day, and I meet a bunch of nice people, but like nothing beats Texas, you know.
I love it. Well, you're a true West Texan, and because West Texans are people of action, and you took action, and I respect that. And West Texans know that we got a great thing out here. You know, we refer to West Texas as God's country, and the people are the nicest, most compassionate people. They all seem to want to do the right thing. You know, we love each other, just in spite of our differences, political and otherwise. It's a nice break from Washington. I'll tell you, Washington is very different culture than West Texas. But it makes me proud that you represent West Texas and that I get to represent you and call you one of my constituents because of what you did. And it takes a lot of courage to do that, because I'm sure it's pretty scary, you know, walking that far from home. You know, there's a lot of risk involved. But like I said, it's a great cause, and you love your family. And there are a lot of seniors that are going to benefit if we can get this fixed. And whether it's HR 82, which I don't think is exactly the right fix, but it's the right spirit.
Mm-hmm.
And then our bill, we just need to get it done. And seniors shouldn't have to wait 50 years to plug this hole that exists in Social Security and the safety net that they rely on just to, you know, live out their last days in peace and security.
And you know Jackson Cood, right?
Yeah,
He went to Lubbock High also.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why, but I just thought of bringing him up because I go to Lubbock High School and he went to Lubbock High School, and yeah.
Yeah, one of my best friends went to Lubbock High. He's a proud Westerner. He played basketball back in, he was senior 1990. His name's Clayton Duncan. He's a legend in his own mind. I don't know if he's a legend there, but he claims to set all kinds of records in basketball, but I haven't seen him yet. But Lubbock High is special, man. What I refer to Uncle E.J. Hollup, the great All-American linebacker who was the only guy for many years to play both sides of the ball, offense and defense, in a Super Bowl for the Kansas City Chiefs. He's a Lubbock High Westerner, as you know, and Buddy Holly. I mean, there's a long line of great West Texans that are coming out of Lubbock High, and the International Baccalaureate program, and their just their academic program is second to none in all of this region. I'd put them up against any school in the nation. So you say you're taking AP classes, your college prep is, again, it's the best in the West, and you're going to be well prepared for whatever college you go to. So keep up the good work there at Lubbock High, Westerner Nation. Tell all those guys that I'll be watching and pulling for them this year in football. I got to flip the coin at one of the football games, one of the Westerner football games last year.
I was there.
Oh, you were there?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, why don't you let's make a commitment to go break bread, have breakfast or lunch. Maybe we could do it at the office. Maybe I'll swing by and pick you up at Tech, and we can go. We won't go to Chimmy's because I know you'll be tempted. I don't want to tempt you. You're not in college yet. You're not 21. So, but you can still have their quesadilla.
Yeah, I have a place in mind for breakfast.
What's that?
You ever tried Rain Cafe? It's on 50th.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that place.
Right across from Home Depot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Have you ever been to Cast Iron Grill?
No, I actually haven't. How's that?
That's where we need to go, my friend. We need to go just down the street from Lubbock High, there on 19th Street, and it's perfect, and you'll love it. They make a great breakfast. It's a locally owned restaurant. So why don't we do that? Okay, we'll make plans to have breakfast, and I want to hear more about your journey and the people you met, the conversations you had, the places you saw. I mean, you ought to think about writing down. I don't know if you journaled along the way, but you might want to, write an essay that you could even turn into a book. Just your experience walking across America, and for the cause that motivated you, but also just the interactions with people and the friendships and relationships you made. I think it'd be interesting, but while it's fresh on your mind, you ought to start writing it down.
Yeah, I was saying it's gonna be one hell of a college essay.
Yeah, it will. Most college students, when they're writing an essay, they run out of substance, so they have to look for a little extra baloney to put in there. You will have a lot of substance for a long time out of that journey. You won't need any fluff and stuff.
No,
You'll get the real stuff. You'll get the real deal. Well, listen, when does your grandmother retire?
I think she retired. I don't know when she retired. I know she retired, I think maybe a year ago. My grandpa's
Okay.
about to retire this year, I think.
Okay. Well, tell the Jimenez family hello from me. Tell them that I share their pride in what you did, and I'm grateful I get to represent amazing young people like you. You're going to be you're already a leader, but I'm counting on folks like you to be engaged in the political process. Regardless of your political affiliation, you've got to learn, the issues so that you can do the right thing to make sure that we're serving the American people well, and that we have, the best quality of life and standard of living in America, and maintain that, because it takes a lot of work, and every generation has to pick up that mantle. And I'm counting on you to do it. You're already well on your way. So God bless you, Alicio, and thank you for your courage and your conviction and your willingness to take action to raise awareness. I need more members of Congress to support my bill, and we need Democrats and Republicans to put their political differences aside, put the seniors in their districts, the seniors in this country first, and fix what's broken about Social Security. Neither party has the solution by themselves. No matter what they say, it's going to have to be done like Ronald Reagan did it when he worked with Democrat Speaker of the House Tip O'Neill, and they solved it then. We got to step up, and we got to do right by the American people, and do it the American way. Work across the aisle, and get this thing fixed, and get peace of mind to your grandmother, to my parents, and to the next generation of retirees. Right?
Exactly.
Everybody's proud of you, and look forward to meeting you in person and having breakfast with you. Okay?
Me too.
All right. God bless you, my friend. Safe travels.
Thank you.